So my Forester has some problems. Only really one problem, and it does this. Oh, I felt it. I don't think it's the steering wheel, like I feel it in the pedal.
Yeah, I feel it in my feet.
Yeah, it's like pretty bad. So I don't think it's super noticeable on camera. It's definitely worse coming off the motorway. Essentially, it shakes a lot, shudders at the front. Now, immediately you would think brake rotors. I don't think it's brake rotors because it also seems to do this on bends. What I did a little while ago is I replaced the sway bar bushings because they were destroyed. And now I'm pretty sure it's time to do sway bar end links. So my Forester is a 2010 XT, which means it is the turbo version. It's about 170 kilowatts from factory. Honestly, this thing cracks. I love it. It's my daily. It's perfect. The fuel economy is not great, but I don't think you really buy a turbo Forester with a WRX motor for fuel economy. It's a brilliant car. I am one step away from turning this into an overland camper. I'm so tempted. Like, there are so many great setups that I've seen. I'm gonna, like, there is a chance I go and buy a rooftop tent for this today because I'm that keen to go and camp on a beach somewhere in my Mad Fords. So this is the new sway bar end we picked up. It's TRW. I got it from Repco. It's nothing fancy, but it should do the job. So like, these are so tight. Like, these barely move at all. I really have to work to move these. The end links that are currently on the car are so loose. I pulled one off the other day when I was doing the service and they're nearly floppy. So I'm pretty sure they're the cause of my problem. So let's jack the car up, pull them off and see if that solves my problem. I also have a set of Weathershields. They are by Elite Garage. I hate when cars don't come with Weathershields. It drives me crazy. Problem solved. So we're also going to install these. Let's just zip the wheels off real quick. Now this thing does have G3 WRX wheels. I think the stock wheels don't look that good, honestly. But these wheels are nice. They will look even better with some big meaty tires on them. And now we have access to our sway bar end link right there. So this is the one that I took off the other day. These are both 14s, I think, if not 14s, 12s. These are a bit of a pain to get off because you kind of have to hold the inside while you undo it, otherwise this will just spin. Is the top done? And then get him off, we just kind of help him out, just like that. So let's compare the pair. Obviously that's the old one, that's the new one. Now they do look fairly similar. On the box for this, it did say 2002 Forester, so I was a little bit concerned. But do you see how easy this moves? Like, that is no effort at all to move that. And look, I'm no mechanic, but I don't think they're meant to do that. So, because this is moving, it's allowing the whole sway bar to move around, which in turn is when I brake, it makes the car shudder, I think. Either way, these need doing, and that's the replacement. I don't think it matters which way this goes, top or bottom. There doesn't seem to be any mark that indicates what goes where. So let's stick this one in. Now this can be moved, it's just a lot more difficult. So they're a little difficult to get in, and I think the reason why is the wheel's still on the other side. So that part of the sway bar has a lot of weight on it, so I think it's moved up. So if I remove the other wheel, I should be able to manipulate the sway bar a bit better and get it up in there. So now, hopefully, I can get this in a bit better. Straighten him up, or something like that. So these guys get torqued to 35 foot-pounds or about 47 Newton meters. Sometimes when I'm doing stuff like this, I might look up the torque spec even though I'm not actually going to use the torque wrench. At least then you get an idea of how tight it's going to be. You know, if it's like 110 or 100 Newton meters, you're like, okay, that's friggin' tight, you know, and then you can do it really tight. Whereas if it's something like, you know, that 50, 30, you're like, okay, not too much on this one. Because sometimes, let's be real, torque wrenches are big, sometimes you can't get it in there, but at least then you get an indication of how tight it's meant to be. Now that's one down, and that's looking quite nice. Hopefully that solves my problems. So I'm gonna run around the other side and do the other one really quick. Then we'll do the Weathershields. So the second one is now installed. Much like the first one, this one's really loose. This one actually has a tear in the boot as well at the bottom, I noticed. So I am gonna throw the wheels back on the old girl, put it down. I'm gonna go for a drive later, I gotta go shopping, so we'll test out whether that actually made a difference then. Fingers crossed. If not, I guess we'll have to start looking at other bushings, other suspension components. Could be the shocks, could be like the lower control arm bushing, something like that. I really do think this is the problem, but look, I'm not a mechanic, I'm just really stretching here, and they were pretty cheap, so you know, whatever. Now I like to actually check that these are the right ones before I pull everything out of the plastic and get carried away, and they look like they're pretty good. Now these are just 3M taped. We'll have to clean our surface up, obviously. So you can see that on this end, there's like a bit of a lip in this, and that tucks over the mirror and then actually gets 3M taped to the mirror. I really dislike not having weather shields because I like leaving my windows down a little bit, especially in summer like it is now. It was like 43 degrees yesterday. I was gonna do this yesterday, but I was like, it's far too hot. It's only like 25 today. It's a lot better. But I like leaving my windows down a little bit, and in case it rains, it just doesn't work. And then people can see windows down, and just weather shields, stock, please. If the BRZ doesn't have it, maybe it's a Subaru thing. The Evo had them, and if the Evo had them, the Forester should. One part I always hate doing is this, like cleaning to stick something on. I don't know why, it just really annoys me. Like, just let me freaking stick the damn thing on. Like, it'll be fine. Of course, this is like arguably the most important part. So, you know, you can't skip this bit. Like, it's got to be done. But it just annoys me for some reason. I'm just using dish soap in water. Probably be using wax and grease or like a watered down IPA, but I don't know where they are. They're somewhere, but this was at the front. And my problem is I never write on bottles, so I never know what anything is, but this is green, so it's like kind of obvious that it's dish soap. It's always like, I just like try and line up the front and the top and just put it on really gently. How does that look? I think that looks pretty good to me. Now let's seal the deal. And now the satisfying part. Oh, it's gorgeous. Now, I know this mod isn't that big of a deal, but I'm pretty pumped. Much better. There are some other mods that I want to do to this car probably fairly soon. Bonnet protector, strip along here. There's the OEM Subaru one, which looks really nice, but I think you can only get that from the States. I don't want to pay like $200 for a bonnet deflector, like that's kind of crazy. So I'll probably have a look on eBay, see if I can find one. I was kind of hoping that Elite Garage had one. I don't think they do, because that would have been cool if that matched the new Weathershields, but alas. So I think that would be really cool. I need new tires soon. I am running the G3 WRX wheels, which I think look really good on this car. They look a lot better than the stock ones, but these tires are like a little bit small, I feel. They don't really fill out the guards that well, and it kind of looks a little bit silly, a little bit. I would like to put some decent highway terrains on it. These are 235 45 17s. I don't really know what size I would go. I think the stock tires are 225 55, but I think the rim is not as wide. So I need to check my lock and then go a highway terrain, something like that. These need a polish because they look terrible. Look how yellow that is. I need to sort that out. This car needs a clean. I'm gonna do that right now. It's horrible. The inside needs doing, the outside needs doing, everything needs doing. I'm really tempted to turn this into a camper. So there's a bloke called Monty. What's his name actually? Because I stumbled onto one of his YouTube videos the other day and it was pretty insane. Monty Scott, Subi X4 on Instagram, has probably the coolest S Edition Forester that I've ever seen. So like, he's doing some insane stuff. Look, I'm not trying to go to that level of a build. Like, he's got some serious wheels going on. He's got a lift kit. I assume all kinds of stuff going on. I'm not trying to do what he's doing because he's insane. That type of forward driving just is too much stressful for me. I'm not about it. I'm like a fire trail warrior. I just need some decent tires, and I probably don't even need to lift this at all. Like, I maybe just need just better tires, I think, really. But you know, this build might progress, it might turn into something. It would be cool to have a lifted Forester. But I know there are problems with CVs and all that kind of stuff if you go down that road. I don't really want to have those problems on my daily, but let's just see how we go. This is a really random video. Thank you for watching. Should I do an Overland Forester build? Should I turn my daily into a camper? I love this car. Maybe I should. We'll see. We're stuck behind 3 horse floats, so we're not really going that quickly, but we're about to get off the motorway, so let's see what happens.